Hey guys, it's Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central European Time, so it's time for another episode of Be, Think, Transform. Today, I want to talk about a subject that may leave you feeling, finally, that you're much more powerful than you originally thought you were. Are you interested? Then keep watching. Oh, it's happened again. I'm so sorry. So I've noticed now that the mute was on. So apologies. I just said, welcome, welcome, basically. So I'm just going to cut it short. My name is Henrike Schmidt. I'm the whole brain coach, and I help driven high achievers optimize their performance by teaching them neuroscience-based strategies so they can finally feel more in control of their lives. And control and power are the two underlying reasons why I wanted to talk to you about the subject that I'm going to talk to you about now, and that is epigenetics. So epigenetics is still quite a new area of science, and what it is basically it describes the way that our genes and the environment communicate with one another. So up until a few decades ago, it was, you've heard DNA, you've heard genes, you've heard of mutations, all of that stuff. But what most of us believed was kind of that, what you came with is what you had to deal with, right? So if you had certain genetic markers, maybe you have a genetically transmitted disease or something, maybe you actually have an illness that resulted from your genetic makeup. Or maybe, you have a family history of anxiety and depression or obesity or whatnot. And it was all because of my genes, and you couldn't do anything about it. And here comes epigenetics and flips it all on its head. So what our genes are, I like to think of it as a bit like my grandma's recipe book, my grandma's cookbook. So there were recipes in the cookbook, and you could follow the recipes, but my grandma had all these instructions on the side where she would say, no, I'm going to put a little bit more of this. I'm going to replace this with that. And it became very personal. So two people had the same cookbook, but my grandma would have her own take on things. So epigenetic basically means that we have an opportunity to decide how much or how little we're going to allow our genes to be expressed. And there are three areas by which we have a lever to access that. So in my title, I said your habits rule your genes. And that's precisely what it is. It's your behavior that can impact how much or how little a gene is expressed. And it's the three M's, basically. It's mind, muscle or movement, and what you put in your mouth. So there have been studies done on the effects of meditation, both immobile, still meditation, and moving meditation practices such as yoga and qigong and tai chi and whatnot, on our genetic expressions, on our epigenetics. And it's been shown that even short-term meditation has some really positive effects on telomere length, which is an indicator of youth. So the longer the telomeres, the more youthful your genes still are. And things like inflammation. So the more the more veteran you become as a meditator, the more advanced you become, the more regular your practice becomes, the better those effects are on your genes. But even just doing it once in a while is going to have some positive effects. And movement and your muscles have shown that, for example, there were studies done on people who had a specific gene that made them more prone to obesity. And they made, well, in the study, participants were made to walk, I think about an hour, like over the course of the day, they were walking for about an hour. And what happened was that the expression of that obesity gene was dialed down. So instead of this gene signaling loud and clear, put on the fat, it was actually just, acting normally. It was kind of going, okay, release the body fat. It's all fine. Yeah. So we have inflammation, brain health and youthfulness, and we have things like obesity and anxiety. And what also comes in the mind category with the meditation and mindfulness practices is human connection. So meaningful human connection also has an epigenetic side to it. It will positively influence expressions of your genetic makeup. And then we have the third M, which is the mouth. And that is really all about eating whole foods. So I'm not going to go into any specific diet regimes because I don't really believe in diets as such. But if you just ditch the processed foods and replace them with healthier whole food options, that's going to have such a positive impact on your genetic expressions. It's unreal. So why am I talking about this? I'm a neurocoach. Why am I talking about epigenetics now? Well, I mean, you've noticed that I'm kind of into science, right? Like if you've been watching this. But the real reason why I'm speaking about this today is because of what that means for you. Because it means that you're not at the mercy of your genes. It doesn't mean that, oh, yeah, well, you just don't have a talent for this. There's nothing that can be done, because in fact, there is so much that can be done, but it's up to you. You have to do something. You can't just sit and put your feet up and, pop the epigenetic pill and hope for the best. What you can do right now is take back control of what's happening in your life by being mindful and, quieting your mind. So that was the common denominator of those mindfulness and meditation practices, was that they were quieting the mind. They were kind of dialing down all this noise that's constantly, coming to us from all over. So doing that, taking time out, doing some, establishing some non-sleep deep rest protocol in your life, whether this is meditation or yoga nidra, or what else could it be, like a hypnosis tape, or just quietly closing your eyes, breathing exercises. All of that works wonderfully well. And then the next one is movement. Guys, move your bodies. Yeah, this is so crucial to brain health as well. And the mouth, again, that too, you are what you eat. That's, it's not news, right? So don't eat crisps and junk food and then expect to be, all switched on and clear in the head, because it's not going to happen. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, is that you have the power to even influence your genes, guys, simply by looking after your habits and establishing positive ones rather than negative ones. All right, so this is it for me today. I will be back here next week, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central European time. I hope minus the cold/allergy. I would love to hear your opinions about epigenetics, what you think you might be able to do right away to, establish a mindfulness practice, or how to improve your movement, or how to improve your diet. That's the word. All right, my lovelies. I will see you back here next week. Take care. Bye-bye.